Hi, welcome. Simon here and hope you're doing well. In this video, I'll walk you through step by step on how to replace a cracked screen on your iPhone 12 Pro. Alright, so this is the screen replacement here, and if you're not sure where to buy the screen or the replacement tools, the replacement screen and the tools, what I'll do is I'll link them in the description below where you can go ahead and click on it. It will direct you to either Amazon or eBay so that you can buy the right tools and the right parts, and you can follow along the video for the screen replacement. Alright, the first thing you need to do is to go ahead and get yourself the 0.8 Pentalobe P2 screwdriver. So this little star looking thing, 0.8 is the size of the screw, and you want to remove the two screws here at the very bottom of your phone. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove that. Once you have removed the two screws, let's go ahead and get a hair dryer if you do not if you have one, or you can go ahead and get yourself the heat gun. So the goal of this is to heat up the phone because the phone is waterproof. Dust, prevent dust getting in or water getting into the phone. So they do have adhesive all around the phone. So the goal here is to use the heat gun or the hair dryer to warm out the adhesive so that you can easily pry this phone screen up. I'm using my finger to touch the screen. I'm trying to make sure that the heat gun is not overheating the phone. I do not want to have any overheating or internal damage to the phone, like the battery or the motherboard. So you just want to heat warm enough to pry the thing open, the screen open, but not overheating the phone. Okay, so get yourself a metal prying tool. Go ahead and stick it in between the phone just like that. Okay, alright, so I have a good contact with the phone. I'm in between the phone and the screen, so I'm just running the prying tool to cut that adhesive apart. Okay, now if you get stuck at this point, you can always come back and reheat that phone again. So I was just doing on the bottom part earlier, not much on the top. You can always come back to reheat it for the second time. Alright, once you have the entire screen adhesive cut off, so you want to flip the phone to your left, that is where the opening is. Alright, so the iPhone 12 Pro, it flips to the left. The next part is to go ahead and get yourself the Try screwdriver, or what we call the Y screwdriver, 0.6. Remove the two screws. And once you have done that, go ahead and remove the bracket as well. At this point here, so this is the battery connector. You can go ahead and disconnect the battery by simply lifting it straight up. They're kind of like Lego. They snap onto it. To remove, you simply lift it straight up. The next step is to go ahead and push it to the side. Alright, so now here we can go ahead and disconnect this cable. That's for your LCD screen, and underneath that is your digitizer. So both of these connectors are for the screen, top and bottom. Okay, so once you have disconnected two screens, now go ahead and start working on the top here using the Y screwdriver or the Try screwdriver again. This is the 0.6, the size of the screwdriver. There are 4 screws. Remove all the 4 screws. Now the bracket will just come right off. Okay, so once the bracket is off, this is your ear speaker, the proximity sensor. So we need to disconnect that as well, because we are transferring that over to the new screen. So at this point here, the entire screen will just come right off. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to have the new screen ready on the right side. The broken screen original will be on the middle part. We are transferring everything over from here to the new screen. Continue the process by removing the screw here. That 2 screws I did was the Try screwdriver, the Y, and the other 2, the top and bottom here, they are the Phillips screwdriver. Once you have removed that part, now you want to be very careful when you disconnect that cable. Here I want you to pay close attention to that. So the sensor are double-sided adhesive onto the phone, so when you remove it, you got to be very careful and gently. Okay, and again, my screen is kind of damaged here in the front, so I might have some challenge to remove it, but I'll do my best here and show it to you. Because of the impact on the screen, I might have some difficulty to remove that, but I'll see what I can do. Okay, looks like I was able to remove them easily. There you go. Now we just have to transfer that proximity sensor back to that new screen. You can just follow along by pushing down the sensor back to the bracket itself. Okay, once you have them installed correctly, just go ahead and holding down to that proximity sensor, the ear speaker here on the phone, holding it down. Now go get your Phillips screwdriver and put that screw back together. There are 4 screws in total. 2 is the Y screwdriver on the top left and the bottom left. The Phillips is the top right and the bottom right. Take your time when you put the screw back together. Sometimes they are difficult to align because they're very tiny. But once you get used to it, you should be very easily to put it back. Now again, the connector are just like Lego. You have them aligned in the right position and you can just press it down and it will just go back in very easily. You shouldn't be using a lot of force. It doesn't take like heavy force or pressure to push it down. If you're having that difficulty, you just have to come back and realign that connector carefully. Do not force it down, because if you press it too hard, you may break that connector or make a bend to the connector on the phone. Then that would be a very difficult repair to replace that connector. Okay, once you have that installed, now go ahead and put the battery back together. So I have the 2 cables installed and the battery installed as well. Now you can just go ahead and realign that bracket here back into the right position. So you need to slide it in first and then close it down. There are 4 Y screwdriver, so Y screws, or the tri screws. So I'll be using the same tri screwdriver here, that's 0.6. Putting all 4 screws back together. Okay, once you have done that process, come back here, make sure all that cable are still in the right position. Get your bracket back on top of that cables, align them in a position where you can put that screw back together. Okay. I believe my phone battery has ran out, but I'll give it a try to power up. Hopefully there is some juice to power up the phone, but we will find out later on. So at this point here, you see the top here has 2 little latch on the very top of the phone. So you want to slide that top thing in on the top first. So slide it in. While holding that, you can start pressing the side down to crunch it down on every single corner. Alright, so the phone should sit flat all around the corner. It should be sitting flat. Now putting the 2 screws back together is very simple. And let's go ahead and start powering up the phone. Hopefully there's enough power to turn on the phone. Alright, it looks like I do have some power and the phone is turning on. Okay, so I hope the video is helpful for you. Let me cover up the display. There might be some kind of image or the background of the thing. So let's just cover it up, and there you go. So I hope the phone is helpful. I hope that the video is helpful for you. And if you find the video is helpful, please go ahead and smash the like button for me. I would really appreciate you for doing that. And if you have any question regarding about the phone repair, feel free to comment below. I do read the comments, and Do not forget to check out the link in the description below that would direct you to Amazon so that you can buy the correct parts and follow along with the video. Thanks for watching, and I wish you success in your repair. Bye now.